Hi, Young America! My name is Jasmine Jones, and I'm here to present to you the weekly address to young Americans. Hey! My hopes with this weekly broadcast is to begin to talk about things that young Americans actually care about, whether it's finances such as savings, work-life balance, education, or even family planning, because it's getting real for a whole lot of us out there, right? I know. So, with that, my hopes is to begin to talk about things that we all share in common, no matter how diverse we are as a generation. Whether it's in our quiet thoughts or in our conversations with friends, we all kind of have the same questions, concerns, and aspirations for where we want to see our future be. This broadcast is supported by an organization that I am beginning called Y.O.U, Young, Organized, and United, which I'm hoping will serve as a platform for young America to begin to come together for this generation and beyond, to advocate for themselves and things that they care about. So now we're going to go ahead and go into the topic for today, which is called the new. New year, new you, new things. Yes. So as we know, as the year changes, and 2014 hit, we already came up with all of our plans on what we're going to do this year, right? So I know I came up with mine, and they're all over the place, but they're all things that I care about right now. And the great thing about setting goals is that it A, gives you something to look forward to. B, you have something that you can obsess over and really try and murder for January, February, and March. Hopefully for the rest of the year, but especially those 3 months. And then it's also a marker of where you are in your own growth, in your personal and emotional space. You know, when you look at your goals from 2013 to 2012, compare them to 2014 and see exactly where you are. And it's a great thing to see. So goals are always great to set every time the year changes. However, we all know that sometimes it's really hard to really stick to what we said. So what I want to present to you today are 3 things that I think are extremely helpful with making sure that your goals actually happen, okay? So the first thing that you got to do is when you come up with your goal, write it down. It is something very effective about when you take your thoughts and you actually make them an affirmation by writing them down. Look at it, stare at it, think about it, confirm it. That's what you're all doing when you're writing it down. The second step to do is to write down next to it how you're going to do it, right? So we all know that it's really easy to come up with something and say, hey, I'm going to, go to work on time every day. Yes, that is a good one, right? Go to work on time every day. Well, how are you going to do it? Okay, and so write down those steps, whether it's packing your lunch at night, getting your clothes ready for the next day, going to sleep by 10 o'clock, any of those things, write them down and begin to practice them, because as you practice those, then your goal becomes real. And the very last thing is to put timelines next to your goals. The reason why you want timelines, I know it sounds a little bit out there because you have the year to do it, but if you put a timeline on when you want to see improvement, then you have time to really assess and say, hey, have I made it here in March? Have I made it here in May? And always to readjust so that you can always begin. Never give up on your goals, even if it's really hard. Just have a timeline so you can always look back and say, okay, this is where I want to be. And if you didn't make it then how are you going to make it moving forward? So those are my 3 big suggestions to you. And I hope that they help some of you out there who are really looking to make your goals happen this year. And I really want them to happen for you as well. Now, I have one additional tip for the recent graduates, the young and mid-level professionals. As we begin to make our goals, I know a lot of us are thinking about how to make professional goals for ourselves as we look to be stronger at our job, get a promotion, apply to a new one. All those things really count. And so I want to give you a special tip on what I think would be very helpful. There's a book that I really appreciate, and it's called StrengthsFinder 2.0 by Tom Rath. This book comes with an online assessment that allows you to find out what are your top 5 strengths that you bring to your life, to your friends, to your job. It allows you to assess where you are, how you're able to be an effective person with the things that you already carry. So for example, my top 5 strengths from this book were strategic, positivity, futuristic, responsibility, and something called individualization. Those are very specific strengths that I would not have been able to put words to, but after taking the assessment, I was able to figure out they actually do kind of match where I am. So I would get this book. It's at Barnes & Nobles. It's online. The assessment is very easy. I made every friend I know take the test. Yes, they know I will come after you with this book. But it's been very effective in really making growth within my job and within where I want to see myself in the coming years. So I hope it does the same for you. So that's all that we have for today, and I'm very grateful that you took the time to watch this broadcast, so hopefully you'll join me for more. I hope that you have a very great week and a very happy, happy New Year. Thank you.